almost a quarter of the way into the NFL season. Can you believe it? What is going on, y'all? Fox Sports Talk back at it with another video. Talking, of course, some NFL. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below because you don't want to miss out my NFL videos that I post a lot. And I've been pretty happy with the consistency because I told you guys I'd be doing these videos every week, which is, of course, my picks and predictions video. And today is no different because I'm giving you guys my picks for week 4. Okay, so as always, again, if you're new to the channel, welcome. Make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications. But if you've been following along, as always, gonna give you guys my thoughts on how last week went and my overall prediction numbers and how I've been doing because I've been tracking since week 1. Okay, so you are gonna get my good and my bad. I am very transparent with you guys. You guys know that I'm not gonna just boast on here when I get a pick right or wrong. With that being said, I do want to get on with this, but a couple things. I did hit 2,000 subscribers, so thank you all for the support. You guys are the ones helping me grind and pushing me through it. That's the only reason I do it. I got to reply back to comments, which I will do. But again, really appreciate the support. Would also appreciate if you guys hit me up on my social media and follow me on that as well. But with that being said, you guys have done a lot. The grind is just going to continue. I'm going to be putting out a lot more content, so don't you worry. Just spread the word and stay subscribed and keep subscribing. With that being said, let's talk about how I've been doing. Okay, so through 3 weeks, okay, I was 16, 14, and 2. So because we had the 2 ties, and thank God we did not have a tie this week. So I was 16, 14, and 2, and this week I went 8 and 8. Okay, I went 8 and 8, just flat 500, and that brings up my overall total now to 24, 22, and 2 on the year. So 24 wins, 24 wins, 22 losses, and 2 ties, because of course we had 2 ties. So still over 500. I'm a little disappointed. I thought I'd be a little better than this. I'm over 500, like I said, but I thought I'd be way over. But with that being said, still can't complain too much because, like I said, there have been a lot of upsets. So that's how I've been doing. And like I said, I went 8 and 8 this past week. So let's see what went wrong and what went right. So let's talk about the picks that I got wrong and talk about why and what I thought about my process. And again, this helps me improve and get better at it, right? You want to go back and look at your results and see how you did. So I picked the Falcons over the Saints. This game ended up being a shootout. Went to overtime. It was very close. The Saints won by a nail biter, so I'm not too mad about this. Like I said, it was anybody's game. We knew it was going to be a shootout. The Saints just ended up coming out on top at the end, so I'm not mad about that. Giants over the Texans. I am so done with the Houston Texans. I swear to God, this team underachieves every single freaking week. And watch, I picked them again, but I don't know what it is. They should not have lost to the Giants. Deshaun Watson, don't look at his numbers, folks, because all he's doing is just padding his numbers in garbage time. And that Houston Texans defense is the early candidate for the most overrated defense in the NFL. They should have been dominating teams right now, especially their D-line, and they have just been a huge letdown. Okay, that disgusting loss to Tennessee last week, and now you lose to the putrid Giants. Okay, that was just awful. And again, like I said, maybe I've been too high on the Texans. Then we go with the Titans over the Jaguars, okay? I picked the Jaguars to win this game, as did a lot of people, and the Titans surprised it. This was a disgusting game, 9-6. I don't know how the Titans are doing this. They have Marcus Mariota half in the game, half out of the game. Blaine Gabbert was a starter. Now he's hurt. Mariota comes in. We don't even know what the heck is going on, but apparently it's throwing teams off because it's the second week in a row the Titans have pulled off a W with a single-digit point total, okay? Single digits. That's how putrid it is. I just don't want to watch Titans games. With that being said, Jaguars had no business losing this game. The biggest upset, though, by far, was, of course, the Buffalo Bills spanking the Minnesota Vikings. Just threw everything off. Vegas made a hell of a lot of money, I'm sure, and a lot of people lost a lot of money. Daily fantasy didn't go too well for me because of this game in particular. The line was, I believe, 17. It closed at 17, folks, and it was a 21-point blowout. 27-6, okay? That was, I believe, the largest blowout in like 50-some years for a line that was set at 17. just crazy. I don't know how to explain it other than to just say that I think maybe the Vikings were looking ahead to the Rams and they really took this game as a cakewalk, and the Bills just surprised them, or what, because it was inexplicable. I'm still in shock over it, like I said. So just an awful upset. Again, the Bills and the Vikings, sorry, not the Bills, the Vikings and the Jaguars, both these games that were huge upsets. It's hard to see coming sometimes, but I will say I did pick the Bills to beat the Chargers in week 2, if you guys remember, and everybody called me crazy and the Chargers ended up winning, but it was not that much of a blowout. So I may have just been a week too early on the Bills. I knew there was going to be some sort of an upset with this team. The spread, it was just a trap, man. It was just a trap waiting to happen, and it happened, okay? So with that being said, this is why we love the NFL. It's unpredictable. So the Bills ended up getting that surprise win, and maybe I should have stuck with the Bills, okay? And I was a week early, so for all you guys that were calling me crazy, in your face. With that being said, I don't want to blow too much because obviously I was wrong. I didn't have the courage of my conviction to pick the damn Bills, okay? Packers over Redskins is what I had. The Redskins won this game. Adrian Peterson ran all over this Green Bay defense, which is also very putrid. And honestly, folks, like this Packers team, it's going to be very up and down. Aaron Rodgers playing on one leg. He picked up a hamstring injury. He is bruised and banged up. And you take a look at the fact that their defense not helping out. Clay Matthews keeps getting these controversial calls. He can't sack quarterbacks. I don't know what's going on here. And the Redskins, like I said, AP, every 3-4 games he wants to pop off, and then he goes back and just has, 10, 12 carries for 45 yards. Okay, and then he pops off for 200. So that's what's going on there. I picked the Cowboys over the Seahawks. I was wrong here as well. Seahawks, I underestimate how good they're at home, and the Cowboys are awful. Can't generate offense at all. They need to just feed Zeke the ball and just move out the way, which they are not doing. And then another big upset on Sunday Night Football was the Patriots losing to the Lions. Matt Patricia beating the coach Bill Belichick, his if you will protege, or I should say Matt Patricia is the protege to Bill Belichick, but beating the teacher. And so that was very impressive by the Lions, which I did not see coming. So big upset there. And then I had the Bucks beating the Steelers. I thought Fitzmagic would keep at it, and he certainly did to an extent, but he was not able to close it out. It was a close game of 30-27, and he did become the first quarterback in NFL history to throw for 400 yards in 3 straight games to open the season. So crazy numbers. As far as the games that I did get right, I don't want to go too much into it because I think most of the games that I got right were the teams that were favored, so I'm not going to brag about that, but I think the Browns that I picked were not favored against the Jets, and I made that pick without even knowing that Baker Mayfield was going to enter that game. Tyrod Taylor was going to get hurt, and we know the story, how that ended there. With that being said, let's move on to this week. Hang in with me, guys. I'm telling you, we are going to catch fire here one of these days. The fact that there have been so many upsets and I'm still over 500 is still, I would say, some sort of an accomplishment. I don't know what you guys think. Let's start with the Thursday night game. It's a very good one. We don't have a lot of these good Thursday night games, but we've got a good one this week with the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Los Angeles Rams. Now, the Rams are down their 2 starting cornerbacks. I believe Aqib Talib is out, and I believe Marcus Peters is questionable. And we saw what happened with the Minnesota Vikings last week with them taking a beating to the Buffalo Bills. So this seems to be a game where I feel like the Rams, who I believe are the best team in the NFL, should be in a letdown spot because, like I said, their defense is compromised. Minnesota's mad. They're coming off a disgusting loss, but the Rams are at home, so Minnesota is not at home, of course. They're on the road. And the line is 6.5 in favor of the Rams. Okay, I'm very tempted to pick the Vikings to win this game. I will certainly take the points for the Vikings because I think it'll be very close. But I just believe in the Rams way too much. This is the best team in the NFL by far. Let me repeat that. The Rams are the best team in the NFL by far. There's a reason they were my Super Bowl champs predictions before the season started, why I predicted them to win this year's Super Bowl and be the champions. because of how good they've looked. They're undefeated. And you know what? I'm just going to go with it. I'm taking the Rams in this game, though I will take the Vikings in the points because of what I mentioned before. The Rams are just a well-oiled machine, especially on the offensive side of the ball. And even if they, are compromised defensively, I believe they can put up points, enough points. And it's not like the Vikings don't have injuries themselves. Everson Griffin, their defensive end, is out, so they're missing him. And then we don't know about Dalvin Cook if he's going to play this week. So, like I said, injuries on both sides. I'm going with the Rams. Let's move on to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Chicago Bears. My Chicago Bears, folks. I predicted the Bears to beat the Cardinals last week. The early part of the schedule is fairly straightforward for the Bears. I predict them to beat the Buccaneers here. I don't know who's going to start this game for the Bucs, whether it's Fitzpatrick or Jameis, but I don't care. The Bears' defense and their pass rush will get to either of them. Khalil Mack is going to eat them alive. And all we need on the offensive end really is for Mitch Trubisky to just not throw this game away because, like I said, Mitch hasn't been too impressive, though I'm not out on Mitch. But we need, obviously, Mitch to improve, and I believe he will. But obviously, on the offensive end, we know that with the Tampa Bay struggling defense, the Bears can put up some points. And like I said, our pass rush is going to get to their quarterback regardless of who it is, and them being at home helps. I'm taking the Bears in this one. Let's move on to the Bengals at the Falcons. I'm going to hang in with the Atlanta Falcons, who lost last week at home. They're at home again. This Bengals team is without their starting running back, Joe Mixon, and the Atlanta Falcons are high-powered now. They are very compromised on the defensive end. They've lost a lot of starters on the defensive end, so this could be somewhat of a shootout, but I'm giving the advantage to the Falcons just because of the fact that they're at home. And I don't expect them to lose 2 straight home games. So I'm going to go with the Falcons here. The line's at 5.5. You can probably take Cincinnati in the points, but I'm going to take the Falcons to win the game. Let's go to the Lions at the Cowboys. Lions at -3 in favor of Dallas. Now, Detroit's been an up-and-down team. We saw them get the doors blown off of them against the Jets, and then they go and beat the damn Patriots, okay? So I don't know what to really make of the Lions, which are the real Lions, but I do know that the Cowboys are just flat out bad. All they have beaten is the Giants, and that was at home, and that wasn't even that impressive for me. So you know what? I'm going to go with the Lions here to beat the Cowboys. I know the Cowboys are at home, but like I said, the Lions have shown me that their ceiling, even though the floor might be low, the ceiling is high. So again, high risk, high reward team Detroit is. But the weapons they have, my new favorite receiver in the league, Kenny Golladay, Golden Tate, Marvin Jones, Kerryon Johnson, first 100-yard rusher for the Lions since 2013. The defense is starting to step up a little bit. Zeke will lead in this game for the Cowboys, but I don't trust their offense outside of that. So I'm going to pick the Lions in this game to win, of course. Buffalo at Green Bay, Lions at 10. I'm not falling into this trap again. Actually, I am falling into this trap again. I'm picking the Packers to beat the Bills. The Packers have let me down last couple of weeks, but I'm going to hang in with them. This is in Green Bay. Now we know that teams will take the Bills seriously. They're not going to just look at them on the schedule and mark you down as a dub. Josh Allen has had an impressive game, but hopefully Mike McCarthy and his coaching staff go ahead and game plan for that. I am picking the Packers to win this game. If they lose to Buffalo, there is going to be something to talk about in Green Bay because, my God, you should not lose to Buffalo. And I know what they did last week to Minnesota, but that, I believe, is a fluke. And hopefully Green Bay proves me right. Houston at Indy. Oh, line is at -1.5 in favor of the Colts. Folks, the Texans have let me down so much. They are like a bad habit, and I keep picking them. And I think I'm going to pick them again, folks. Look, I just feel like they have to pop one of these days. And you know what? If this is the week, then I shouldn't even take credit for it because I just keep picking them. But like I said, the Colts are just, their defense has been okay. They certainly haven't been awful like they've been the last couple of years. But the Colts just don't do anything for me. They're just like vanilla ice cream. They're just boring. Andrew Luck can't throw past 20 yards. Their offense isn't explosive. The defense is okay. So like I said, I'll never expect Andrew Luck right now with the way his shoulder is to beat a team over the top. And we know obviously the Texans defense has not been great. They are very overrated. But you know what? Deshaun Watson is going to have a breakout game one of these days. And you know what? I'm going to stick by it. Line's fairly close. It's at Indy, so it's a dome, perfect conditions. I'm going to go with the Texans. Probably going to bite me, but I'm going to do it. We're moving on to the Jets at the Jaguars. Jags, if you don't win this game, something is wrong, okay? Something is wrong with you guys. Losing to Tennessee was unacceptable. You better not lose to the Jets. You're at home. A line is 7.5. I'm going to take that, and I'm going to take the Jaguars. We're going to be angry coming off a disgusting loss. Miami at New England. Guess the undefeated team in this matchup. Yes, it's the Dolphins, not the Patriots, who are 1-2. You can probably guess which direction I'm going. I'm going to go with the Patriots, who have owned the Dolphins for like the last decade. The Patriots will be angry. You all know that. So take the Patriots to win this game, though I wouldn't blame you if you took the Dolphins and the points. With that being said, moving on to the Eagles. I almost said the Sixers. Eagles at the Titans. I don't know what to make of the Tennessee Titans because they've been picking up these ugly W's. But I don't buy it for now. So I'm going to pick the Eagles. They're favored by 4. I know this is in Tennessee. My good friend MJ Take of Sports Fan Entertainment is a big Titans fan. He has picked, I believe, the Titans to win this game. And that's fine. Like I said, they have been playing well, if you want to call it that, because they've picked up W's. They haven't scored much, but they've been picking up W's. And the Eagles' offense hasn't really taken off, but another week for Carson Wentz, a more game experience to get that knee right can only help. So I'm going to go with the Eagles in this one. Let's move on to the Seahawks at the Cardinals. -3 in favor of the Seahawks, who are on the road. And you know what? The Cardinals with Josh Rosen. Josh Rosen can throw a pretty ball. I like Josh Rosen. I was high on him. David Johnson might have a breakout game here. I'm calling the upset. I'm going with the Cardinals in this game over the Seattle Seahawks, who we know their defense is not the same. Offensive line cannot protect Russell Wilson. They're not at home. You take all of that into account. New quarterback for the Cardinals. What have I been saying about the Cardinals? Their offense is putrid. Sam Bradford needs to go. He's gone now. Josh Rosen starting. I believe David Johnson is going to break out. I believe Rosen is going to lead them to a dub in this one. They are at home. I like the Cardinals in this game. Go with the Cardinals. Cleveland at Oakland, -2.5 in favor of the Raiders. Very tempted to pick Cleveland, and I think I'll go with it because you know what? The Raiders have not shown me anything, and they continue to be inept. John Gruden's first year is shaping up to be a disaster. Derek Carr, 2 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. He has not been playing well. Defense has been playing well. So really, for me, it's more about what the Raiders are not than what the Browns are. Though the Browns are certainly not laughing stocks anymore. Baker Mayfield, that boy is starting this week, so I love to see that. And this, like I said, this Raiders defense is very beatable. I think you'll see the weapons that use with David Njoku, Jarvis Landry, Antonio Callaway, Rashard Higgins, guys like that, Carlos Hyde. So certainly the weapons will be there for Cleveland, and I think Baker and the sort of hype he brings to the team will help them get this dub. Though obviously I think it'll be very, very close. I'm going to go with the Browns to win this one. Let's move on to the 49ers at the Chargers. Poor Jimmy Garoppolo lost for the year with a torn ACL. So I feel for you 49er fans. I'm sorry you lose your starting quarterback. You lose your starting running back in Jerick McKinnon. You lose, I believe, your starting cornerback, Richard Sherman, who's out for an extended period of time, if I'm not mistaken. Boy, the injury bug hit the 49ers hard. Just take the Chargers in this game. I don't even know what the line is. It's 10.5 now, so it's certainly going to go up by game time. And again, these lines are at the time I made this video. But take the damn Chargers in this one. I don't think there's much to go into here. C.J. Beathard is starting this game for the 49ers. That's all you need to know. Let's move on to the Saints at the Giants. I'm going to go with the Saints in this one, who are favored by 3.5 on the road. Alvin Kamara, Michael Thomas, Drew Brees. That three-headed monster is going to be too much for the Giants to handle, who have been very inconsistent. Even though they're at home, I'm going to go with the Saints. The Ravens at the Steelers, -3.5 for the Steelers, who are at home. This is the primetime game. And this is obviously the AFC North rivalry. And you know what? I'm going to pick the Steelers to win this game. I think they're going to start to get right back on track now. They needed the win against the Bucs. This team had been reeling a little bit. Mike Tomlin had lost control of them. I think they're going to get another big win on primetime. And I have them winning this one with, AB and Big Ben and Juju playing really well, especially Ben, who's been playing really well. I think he can carve them up. And we saw what Andy Dalton did to his Ravens defense, and they're missing Jimmy Smith and C.J. Mosley, I believe. I don't know if they're playing this game, but I doubt it. And we saw A.J. Green had 3 touchdowns. So this Ravens defense isn't all that intimidating, okay? So I'm going to go with the Steelers in this one. And let's finish off with the Monday Nighter with the Chiefs at the Broncos. And I cannot go against Patrick Mahomes. They are favored by 5 in this game. I will take Denver in the points because I think the Broncos are difficult at home. But their defense is not what it used to be. And you can't bet against the hot guy in Patrick Mahomes, the hottest quarterback in the NFL. I'm going to go with Patrick Mahomes and company in this game. They just have too many weapons. So there you have it, folks. My picks and predictions for Week 4 of the NFL season. Let me know if you guys agree with me or disagree with me. Leave a comment down below. And as always, thanks for watching.